The England starters warming up. No sign of Thomas Tuchel just yet out here on the Wembley pitch where we're standing. Roy, did you recognise what he said about England last summer? No identity, no repetition of patterns, no real excitement about what they were doing, more frightened about going out than going further.
Yeah, it's a bit harsh, that, I think, because obviously they won a few football matches over there. And there was a lot of teams who went over that and had a good identity, but they came back before England. So it's well and good talking a good game. They've got to go and still perform. But yeah, he seems a bit harsh on Gareth, but I know where he's coming from. Yeah, a certain style of play. They were heavily criticised despite winning lots of football matches. But I still think we still shouldn't get away from Gareth doing a very good job at England.
Do you think he was trying to distance himself from Gareth Southgate in a way with those comments?
I'm not sure. I think I'd probably go more with his second language or something. I think he's just he's very honest. He's brutally honest about what he was saying. I think when you watched us, remember we changed our midfield something like 3 times. So maybe that's what he's looking at and he's seeing it. Maybe the way he's spoken about it doesn't sound great, but I think that he was right. We didn't. By the time we got to the final, we knew Spain exactly how they were going to play. We wasn't quite sure how we were. So, maybe that's what he was on about.
He's got a great plan, hasn't he?
He's definitely got a plan.
He's got a plan. Let's see how it pans out.
Yeah.
Everyone has a plan till they're punched in the face, as Mike Tyson famously said.
Yes.
Gabriel's interview certainly set the news agenda. I was really struck about how much he was accentuating the Englishness of English football in the Premier League. My question is, do you think it's easier for a German, a foreigner, to do that than an Englishman? Do you see what I mean? Because if an Englishman did that, everyone would go, oh, they're just stereotypical England long ball fight till the end.
Well, it'll take a long time before we see an Englishman.
But it's almost easier for somebody outside of these shores
to but
do
you can understand what he's saying about the grit and the determination, what English football's about, what's meant to, like, the excitement of it. Yes, he probably wants to try and incorporate that in the way he plays. He's talked about excitement in his game intensity. Yes, and when you watch a good Premier League game, English Premier League, it is fast, it is tense, it is very much back and forth and, getting the ball forward and scoring goals. So you're hoping that they could do that, but you got someone that in the heat of a World Cup,
exactly.
You probably have to change.
You want every team to have intensity and grit, but again, the challenge is if they qualify for the World Cup, I'm pretty sure they will. It's the conditions over there and when to be intense and when to sit back when you're out of possession. That was one of the problems when they play against the top quality teams, particularly teams like Spain. You should be all right in the qualifying group, playing with that intensity and the conditions, but the bigger picture, trying to do it in Mexico or America, Canada, will obviously be slightly difficult.
Yeah, absolutely, when it is that hot. I wonder if you think he might work better as an international manager because he is so intense that the players have him for 4 or 5 days, then we've got 3 weeks off him. Rather than 24/7, it might be a bit too much.
Yeah, I think he's kind of he's got that across himself. I think that is the message he's getting. He'd be intense for obviously when there's a double 2 games over the course of 8, 9, 10 days, and that might suit him. Maybe he's that right at that stage of his career. Yeah. He's an intense manager, but he's also said he's obviously calmed down as he got a bit older. So it's as usual, it's about getting the balance right.
He's very much short term. What was it? He was 2 years at Dortmund, 19 months Chelsea, 40 months PSG's.
But won every time, didn't he?
Yeah, he won every time, and maybe the international job might suit him more. We know that he can fall out with owners and stuff. Maybe the day-to-day dealings is not something that he's very...
Well, he said Gareth Southgate did so many good things for English football off the pitch. Yeah. He's already said, Thomas Tuchel, I'm not going anywhere near that. I'm not going anywhere near the politics.
Yeah, but you can see that with the fact that he's got 18 months. It's a copy and paste.
I'm here to
do
something that hasn't happened for 60 years.
And that's why we'll probably see more like call-ups that we'll think, well, what's he going on with it? Because he knows he needs to do it now.
Well, he's had an impact already, the manager. When you think of the first game, giving 2 lads their debuts, bringing Rashford back in, of course bringing Jordan Henderson back in. So clearly he's not worried about what people are thinking. He's there to get results and ultimately try and win the World Cup.
He's already counting it down. There are only 22 training sessions between now and the World Cup. I mean, he's that methodical about what he's doing.
Yeah, he's on a high, obviously, with the week he's had. I think he deserves his opportunity to play for England. He's put the yards in terms of his career. He's doing very well. It'll be interesting to see how he does tonight, the combination with a left back next to him also making his debut. So it'll be a nice challenge for him, but it's very much well-deserved.
And you would have a lot of empathy with him. He's been through the lower leagues. He scored a goal here for Yeovil Town in a playoff match here.
Yeah, it was. You kind of got all wrapped up in the Dan Burn kind of like vibe about it, where coming from Blythe, playing for his team. But like, it was great for him, obviously. But like now, coming here, like Roy said, playing for England, it's going to be a tough one for him. We've got some sharp players. It's the way it can change so quickly with football.
Right, at the other end of a career, Miles Lewis-Skelly, you know the young man very well. What sort of character is he? I dare say at the beginning of the season he'd have settled for a few Arsenal appearances. Now he's going to play for England.
But I think we've seen his character and what he's had to go through recently since the time he's come into the team. I don't think his character is anything that I think anyone needs to worry about. With everything what's going on with him his ability is obviously there for everyone to see. Thomas Tuchel, I remember seeing him, watching him at City, watching him against Spurs, 2 very emotional games. And, you know, obviously the bookings, people continue talking about stuff, but he's not done anything up to this point that has not been excellent in the way that he's got into that first team and stayed in there, playing in a position that's new to him.
Yeah, he's made a few mistakes, like a lot of young players, and that's the only way he's going to learn. A couple of sending-offs. I think he's taken off in a European game early for getting another booking, but he'll have to learn from that. And again, the manager's thrown him in. The Arsenal manager's played him a big game. There's a bit of trust there. Now he's obviously got a bit of trust from the England manager, but he's got to keep in the team now. Again, you can't begrudge him the opportunity, and hopefully he'll take it.
And Marcus Rashford vindicates his low move to Villa at the moment, does he? The way he's playing there, and obviously tonight.
I think so. I don't think he's just playing as well as everyone's making out. I think he's got a few assists. He still hasn't scored a goal yet, but he needed something new. And listen, he's done it at this level, Marcus. There's no surprise he's getting an opportunity. He's produced it before at this level. But I still think there's a lot more to come from Marcus.
You know, you look at the way it's gone for him at Villa, and you can see there's a slow burning of like progression with him. I think this will be a massive boost for him in where he is and where he's playing right now. And obviously a good game back in the England squad. You know, he can carry on the momentum which is building for him.
What I would have to say, I think what he's doing at Villa is what he's really good at, and he should be doing more, is that running in behind, being a threat. That is his strength. He's got to focus on that and do that tonight.
What sort of coach does Thomas Tuchel strike you as?
I think he's a coachy coach. He's out there. He's on there. He's very much, you know, all the kind of like things behind the scenes. I've seen him. He's on the pitch with the players, on the grass, talking to them. Obviously, it seems like he's got a nice way about him with the players. It seems like very firm, but obviously very fair as well.
He's intense, isn't he?
Yes, yeah, he admits that.
He admits that, yeah, that's part of his character. And obviously, I think he'll want his team to play with that intensity. That's the way he comes across. And again, he'll be looking for a good start tonight.